We will get you out of here well before the top of the hour. Give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games, and that's what we do here on the drive-thru Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Is deliver live free sports picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later, and deliver those winners at professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. So let's take a peek at who's on the show with us for today. All right, is Chris Ruffolo with us, Rod Zawacky. It's Wednesdays with Mitch. And we got Shane as well as Dana signing a little later. And we got Wayne Scott. And here's how they'll line up for this evening. Ruffolo, Mitch, Mickle, Scott, Zawacky, Lane, and then I will close this one out. All right, a lot of baseball on the board tonight. Also a game card from the NBA, action on the ice. So let's go ahead. Let's get the show underway. Let's welcome in Chris Ruffolo. Catch him over at Big Dogs Prim. Catch him mornings here during the week, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time with that morning show. We'll bring Chris here with some baseball coverage here to start the show. Chris, what's happening? You're on mute there, Chris.
And not much, Tony. How you doing?
Okay, you're okay now. You're okay. It was just a static delay. Static delay there for some reason. All right. Here we go. Tonight, Astros and Royals going head-to-head here. Astros $1.14. Total sits here at 9.5.
Yeah, and, I still can't figure out what's going on with this Houston Astros team. I mean, maybe it's a new manager. Maybe it's just a new voice. Maybe the team just hasn't responded yet. I know this team's been slow starters at times, in past seasons, but this to me just feels like, a really, really tough go at it for the Houston Astros right now. They've called up Spencer Arrighetti, one of their top prospects from AAA. And, Arrighetti is a guy that studies his metrics. He is one of those new waves of pitchers that is really, really heavily involved in, just the analytics part of the game. But, even if he goes out there and still pitches well, like he's had double-digit strikeout per 9 innings, totals or averages over his last few seasons in the minors. The problem for Arrighetti is that he tends to leave his pitches up, and you can't do that against a Kansas City Royals team that is absolutely crushing right now. One of the best teams in baseball in isolated power against right-handed pitching to this point. I mean, as of right now, 6th in baseball in isolated power against righties. Around the same in terms of team OPS, 9th in team OPS against righties. So I just think the Royals have the edge at the plate right now, given the opposing starting pitcher. Seth Lugo is a guy that I think is going to regress over time for sure. But I still think he's going to be good enough here. The Astros bats haven't necessarily been consistent enough to trust. So give me the Royals here at the nice plus price.
All right, Chris here on the Royals. Plus 105 here against the Astros. Of course, when the season started, we said, same old Royals bullpen. But since then, we've seen some improvement here. The whip's still a little high, but the ERA is coming down.
Yeah, and it's sort of just the slowly fine-tuning the problems that we were all kind of worried about coming into this. Their play plan and the bullpen ERA. But like you said, starting to slowly improve. A 4.67 ERA. We've definitely seen much worse across baseball this season from other bullpens throughout baseball. And I think over time, if the Royals can keep it going, this could be a sneaky team to watch in an AL Central division that the last couple years, I would say, from a win perspective, like a win total perspective, hasn't been all that special. So, this could be a division where 85 wins you the division, and the Royals could be one of those sneaky teams, kind of like maybe Baltimore wasn't expected to do much last year. They kind of came out a little bit hot. Same thing with Arizona, we saw it. So maybe Kansas City could be that team this year.
All right, Chris here on the Royals, plus 105 against the Astros tonight, 7:40 Eastern Time. All right, Chris, let's take a look over at Pick.com for tonight's action. A little bit of everything on tonight. Baseball in primetime. NBA has a card tonight, a game card, action on the ice. Chris enjoying a really good baseball season, nearly 600 units of profit. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, we had a great day yesterday. Just hoping to roll that forward into today. Got a 3-pack on the board, my Hoops and Homers 3-pack. Got my $19 pick-off play. That is included in that 3-pack, as well as a couple of NBA plays as well. So definitely check that out or hop on a long-term pass, whether it's just with me or pair me up with any of the other great cappers at the website. Definitely can't go wrong. Use that promo code PICK at checkout for 15% off your purchase.
That's right, guys. Going with the Chris Ruffolo over at Pick Dogs Stream. You see the results. He's having a great year. Use that promo code PICK at checkout. Save that 15% off. Multi-capper promotion also available. All right, Chris, as always, great having you to show. Have yourself a great evening. Continue the success. We'll catch up with you next week. But let everybody know, catching your video series with NHL around the league, as well as your individual pick videos.
Yeah, tons of content going up tonight. We're going to have those up very, very shortly. Also, like Tony mentioned, we got the wraparound going through the NHL card daily. And now, we're in the stretch run, only a couple more games for these teams in the regular season. So playoff hockey going to be here right before you know it. But yeah, you want to make sure that you're in the know when the newest content drops. So hit that notification bell like you saw at the bottom. Make sure you're subscribed and get the videos as soon as they come in.
Absolutely, guys. Like and subscribe, set those notifications, and when these videos drop, you want to get them right away. All right, Chris, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again next week.
Thanks, Tony. Take care.
Chris Ruffolo here on The Drive Thru. Let's continue here on our show. I'll go ahead and it's Wednesday, so we'll welcome in Mitch. You'll catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. You know when to catch him in the mornings as well. Mitch, what's happening?
Just doing the whole thing, just like everybody else, starting early, ending late, and ready to do it all over again tomorrow. So just kind of where we're at. NBA, getting into those, getting ready for the playoffs. Season ends on Sunday. Seems like it just started, but here it is. NHL playoffs. I don't cover it myself, but I know it's a big thing for our site. And, of course, Major League Baseball season. We also got European soccer. Goran's been killing it in soccer as well. So.
Yep, a lot going on here right now this time of the year. Of course, heading into the playoff season, definitely in NHL and NBA looking exciting here. We'll go on the diamond tonight. Divisional rivals meet here. Orioles at Red Sox. A Red Sox short favorite, -109, total of 9.
Yeah, the thing is that the Red Sox had the change in the pitching change with Nick Pivetta headed to the injured list, and Cutter Crawford now having to move up on short rest up in the rotation to take the start here. As we know, the Red Sox staff doesn't have a true number one starter there. Bayo is kind of the number one guy, but he's not really a true number one in the grand scheme of things. On most teams, he would not be the number one starter. So as players have to move up through the rotation, the mismatches become bigger and bigger, and then we get into like tomorrow where Grayson Rodriguez is going right against Whitlock. But what we have here is even though Cole Irvin isn't really a true number two for the Orioles, what he is a guy that can log some innings and probably at least keep the Orioles in this thing. The Red Sox have started extremely strong, but they definitely drew a much easier task than the Orioles did to start the season. It seemed like the Orioles, on paper, that their schedule was super easy. But what happened is they walked into all the teams that are those surprise teams that Chris was talking about. The Royals, the Pirates, and here are the Red Sox, who were supposed to be nothing, and now they play them too. So, they've been they've held their own in there. They haven't been jumping off the page. But while we know that Red Sox bullpen has the 1.98 ERA, what gets lost here is the Orioles have a 2.01 ERA. I mean, it's just right there even with them. 3.02 starting pitching. The Red Sox 1.54. We know that's a mirage. And I just think that, how Cole Irvin is, the Red Sox hit 238 against lefties. I think the Orioles hit strong enough that they're going to make the Red Sox pay here. I like the Orioles in this one. I think that people are getting a little too excited about the Red Sox in this game. We're getting the better team, with the Orioles here. The odds that you're showing there are not the odds on this game. The odds, well, oh yeah, they are. Okay, I saw something that it said. Oh, I was looking at the odds next to the run line. I have it blocked behind my camera. But that's right. You're getting the Orioles here as a dog. They're the way better team. Way better. I would go reverse run line on this as well. You guys know that's what I do. Yeah, that's what shout out to the Minnesota Twins.
Yes, shout out to the Twins keeping it under also. That was a good one there. Of course, we rely here on Cole Irvin tonight because Cutter's had his issues at home over his career, but Irvin is someone there, the lefty, in this spot.
Yeah, lefties in Fenway Park. It's a do-or-die situation there with that short porch and the pesky pole. But, I think Irvin, he only has to do so much, really 4 innings, is all he's got to really get through. And then you can get into that Orioles pen, which is a better bullpen than the Red Sox. I understand the Red Sox numbers, 1.54 starting pitching, 1.98 for the bullpen. That's not going to hold up. I got news for you. Definitely not going to hold up at all. And we saw it last night, with the Red Sox getting hit.
Yeah,
and I expect that to continue.
Yeah. Pitcher-friendly locations in Oakland and Seattle to start the season. That's going to help.
And pitcher-friendly parks, pitcher-friendly lineups too to go with those. And, it's just like the Tampa Bay Rays aren't going to stay at the bottom of the standings all season either. And the Seattle Mariners aren't going to lose every game, in the West, just like we saw, today. So I think, there's a saying that's out there. They play to the back of their baseball card, and I think that's what we're going to see here. And people are going to say, oh, man, remember we got plus 102 in the Orioles versus the Red Sox? Because normally, you would think Orioles versus Red Sox. This game happens in August. They're minus 175 or more.
Yeah, and then of course the weather's a lot different too. We're going to start to see a little bit more power here in when the weather warms up. All right, Mitch, let's take a look at some of these games that just concluded here. We had, of course, you mentioned earlier. He watched them all, right? Mitch got them all in, right? I know this one he was glued to. Twins and Dodgers here. Twins get it done here, 3-2 here as they able to, the bullpen shut down the Dodgers late.
I was the lone wolf on the Twins this morning on the live show. Also in the YouTube comments on my Twins pick in the video, not a lot of people were happy on it, but the Dodgers are a mediocre road team, and they have been for quite some time. It's at home where they really take care of business. So fading the Dodgers, people say, oh, I'm going to fade the Dodgers every game. I don't think you fade the Dodgers every game. I think if you fade them on the road every game, that they're a favorite. I think that's where you fade them. As a road favorite, you fade them every single game.
There you go. The Dodgers are losing.
You can't beat Paddock. You can't beat
good.
Paddock.
Yeah.
Believe me, there's going to be a lot of pitchers out there that can beat you.
They used to beat him back in the day. They used to when he was back in the Padres, but not right now. So that's the concern there, no doubt. All right, Phillies and Cardinals gone final here. Phillies edge them out 4-3.
It's not like the Cardinals didn't have their chances. They certainly did throughout that game. Lance Lynn pitched well. The bullpen came in, and the Cardinals certainly had runners on base late in the game. Bryce Harper failed to reach base the entire series so far. And, I just think that the Cards might be a good value team after the bad season that they had last year. I was on the wrong end of this one, but so be it, man. I cashed on a lot of these other ones, including some of the other ones we'll talk about, and that picks that I gave out on the morning show. So you guys were, had an opportunity to be on with me because I had no premium picks in any of these early games.
All right, Mariners and Blue Jays. Mariners get it done in 10, 6-1.
I laid the reverse run line here with the Mariners and was able to cash in on this thing. Logan Gilbert went deep into the game. 8th inning he was pitching. Now, I was watching this game with the sound on, and I didn't hear an announcer. I think that they did this game with no announcers. I'm gonna stand by it. I don't know anyone else that saw it. I don't know if it was the Seattle broadcast or the Toronto broadcast, but anybody out there in the comments, if you watch this game, let me know if there was just something wrong with what I was watching or whatever. But there was no announcers. It was all the sounds of the ballpark, the Oregon player, sound of the bat hitting the ball, and all those things, but no announcer actually calling the game.
They did that in a football game years ago, I think back in the 80s. that was tried once. All right. That was back when they had those Saturday NFL games back in near the end of the season.
That game went extra innings. So
Yes.
That game went 1-1 to extra innings. Seattle had the 1-0 lead, and the only one that hit the ball was Vlad. Was the only one that came close to hitting it. And then, I don't know, man, Gilbert pitching a gem, lobs one over to him. That's never a good idea. And that's how he ended up in extra innings. Mariners just took control.
Mariners took control of that one. And Diamondbacks here get it done 5-3 against the Rockies. This one goes under here in D-backs and Rockies.
Tie game 3-3 going into the 9th inning, and the Diamondbacks end up covering the run line in this thing. We're thankful for it. Well, it doesn't matter when, it just matters if, and they got it done. It took them all the way to the 9th inning. This game was competitive all the way. I thought we would see a few more runs in this one, but we didn't.
All right, Giants get it done. Of course, Nationals, they've been really good dogs over the years. If you track them over the past 2 or 3 years when they're getting this type of number, but they didn't get it done today. Giants 7-1.
We laid 3.5 runs on this one in the morning show, and we also took the yes runs first inning, but it was actually the Nationals that scored right out of the gate in this one, getting that Nerfy or that Yurfie in the first half of the first inning. with Patrick Corbin pitching, we expected to see fireworks, and it didn't take long. I mean, the Giants bounced back with 3 runs in the bottom of the frame or in the second inning. It was either the first or second. It was 3-1, and then they kind of just do what the Giants do, just pecked, and you're watching it, and it's kind of not the one with the sound on, and it's like you're watching it, it's like 6, 7, right? It's like just that's what they do, right? It's kind of like it's never like an 11-run offensive explosion. It's just kind of peck. Guys, a lot of guys on base, nobody scoring, and just here and there. And,
Giants way.
Yeah, it is the Giants way.
The Giants way to do things. All right. A game in progress. Looks like the Tampa Bay bullpen's up to them to hold it again. Rays up 4-2. Bottom 8th. Angels batting. No runners on and out.
Yeah, the Rays had this one. There was 4-0, and the Angels are trying to make a game of it here at the end. So I thought the Angels did a good job. What we've seen a lot in baseball so far this season, and I don't remember if it's every season, but it just seems that a lot of teams are getting out to these 3-4 run leads and then just trying to hold on for dear life. And you just don't see any more scoring happening after that point. We saw it last night in Toronto, Seattle also, same thing. After that Craig Counsell pitching disaster on Monday, I think a lot of teams are just really extra careful, because we saw on Monday it wasn't just the Craig Counsell meltdown. We've seen a lot of ninth inning wins this season. We saw it yesterday in the Tigers-Pirates too. Yeah,
up there. Cubs and Padres to start here momentarily. I just saw that the White Sox in Cleveland are underway, so there's your rundown here from Major League Baseball. We'll have more coverage here, guys, here on the show. But we know that this is a rain game here with the Mets and the Braves. I mean, what happened? Yeah, White Sox Guardian just got underway. White Sox pushed 1 across here. White Sox pushed 2 across, now up 2-0.
I'll tell you, up against Bibby, and you got Fede going for the White Sox. He was the MVP of the KBO last year. They've got 2 KBO pitchers on this White Sox staff with Flexen and Fede. And, they could go all KBO. There's three starters away from an all KBO rotation.
See that Bauer's in Mexico now?
Yeah, well, we had, in the morning show we're talking about, like, what team is he going to surface with? He is going to surface. There's teams that kind of give that, and it's the Rangers, right? They kind of give that second chance to the guy. There's a few teams out there that do it, and someone's going to do it. There's a lot of GMs out there thinking about pulling the trigger on this one.
Well, no felonies for Urias, just misdemeanors. So we'll see if his name pops up.
Yeah, I don't think he's quite as good as Bauer, though.
Maybe not. There you go. We got the rundown from Mitch, and we'll have coverage of many of these games later on. Cubs and Padres about to start. This one we're not covering on the show. Any thoughts on this one, Mitch? We've seen that first game was brutal when the Cubs ate nothing.
I like the Padres in this one. The Cubs generally have not been a very good road team. And, the Padres, that 8-0 lead that they blew on Monday, the thing of it was kind of like, it was just perfect timing, because the national championship game was ending. It was still 8-0. You tune it in, and all of a sudden, the the Padres are right. That's right when they started rallying. And then that at-bat by Tatis in the bottom of the 8th is just going to go down as one of the all-timers. It was just, you knew he was going to hit a home run.
Yeah.
You just knew he was going to hit a home run. And the thing is that Craig Counsell, what bugs me about him, aside from him wearing a Cubs uniform and being the manager of, worst team in baseball and the worst franchise in all of sports, is that, he was seen in Milwaukee as this, and this is what they still talk about him like this in Chicago. If you watch any of the games, like, he's this master of the pitching staff. He can manage a pitching staff. Give me Woodruff, Hader, give me Williams, give me Corbin Burns, Peralta is my number 3. It's like, I think I could probably figure this out too. It's like, come on.
He's the master of losing the 1-run decision.
He did not make the great decision with Adbert Alzolay, the other night. So we'll see what he does.
We'll see. There we go with Mitch here with our rundown here from Major League Baseball. All right, Mitch, let everybody know what's happening over at Pick Dog Sports Chat Place as we're heading into postseason action here at both NBA and NHL.
A lot going on behind the scenes. You guys won't see it, unfortunately, until around the All-Star break. But in front of the scenes, you guys see that we're just cranking out the videos. Jay Briggs has got that jam session at full tilt. And, of course, Ron with the rundown of Major League Baseball games. We're still looking to see if he can crack 30,000 views on average per day. He is right on the cusp. Of course, here on our YouTube channel, we just crossed 184,000 subscribers this morning. So thanks to everybody that participates, all the cappers that are on these shows, all the people that do videos, and everybody along the way that, I remember when we had our first 1,000, I think Rod went knocking on doors trying to get people to subscribe so we get 1,000 so we could go live. And, it's come a long way since then.
Absolutely, guys. Check us out. Of course, make sure to like, subscribe, and get all that great content here on Pick Dog's YouTube channel. All right, Mitch, as always, great having you show. Have a great week, and we'll catch up with you again next week.
Thanks, everybody.
You got it. Mitch here on the drive through. Let's continue on here. Now it's time to take a look at our chat. You got the chat room bounce back. J-Man challenge the chat room. You guys bounce back with the Golden State Warriors covering against the Lakers. So tonight's chat game of the night, we're not covering this on the show today, is Mavericks at Heat. If you like the Mavericks, laying the 2.5, it's A. Heat plus 2.5, it's letter D. And of course, the over 216.5 is C. Under 216.5 is D. We'll be tracking this throughout the show and recapping it at the end of the show. So the Mavs are a plus in this game, not a minus. So it's plus 2.5 here for the for the Miami Heat in this game, right? Yep, Miami Heat is the minus tonight. And you guys keep these votes coming in. And of course, we will recap them at the end of the show. So make sure you stay tuned to the show's end. And we'll see if the chat room can get on a roll here like we did when we first started this chat pick of the day. I think they went like on a 10-2 run just to start the chat pick of the day. So looking for the build on this. So get the picks coming in. First one coming in is on the Mavericks. So the Mavericks gets the first call here on the chat pick of the day. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru. Up next, we've got Wayne Scott. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll bring Wayne in right now. NBA coverage here from Wayne. I think we'll get him here in just a second. Oh, just pass him up. Wayne, what's happening?
What's going on, Tony T? What's going on, Pick Dog family? Hope everybody doing good out there today.
Yeah, everything's going great, Wayne. We're going to look at the NBA. This is a big game tonight. This probably will go a long way in deciding who's the number one seed. The loser is going to have to hold off OKC. So this is one of those where you can go from 1 to 3. This is the way it looks here. Timberwolves at Nuggets. Nuggets now up to 6.5, total to 11.5.
Yeah, both of these teams coming off of back-to-back, and both of these teams are playing as lately. Covering-wise, they're about the same. They're pretty much neck and neck. I know they're neck and neck record-wise, but just everything they've been doing as of lately, it kind of been trailing each other. So it's intriguing that they meet up tonight. Timberwolves, though, don't cover the last 5 or 6 against the Nuggets. I know Jay termed term stupid, dummy, crazy off the Nuggets at home, but they really haven't been doing that at home. They're slightly above 500 at home. And I think it's just because they won the championship. A lot of these younger West Coast teams are playing them tougher. They're only covering 41% against West Coast teams when they're playing Western Conference teams. On the other side of that, Timberwolves been giving the work when they're playing West Coast teams. All in all, I just feel like this is a closer to a pick'em game. You're giving me 6.5 points with a team that's hitting 3-ball good, a team that lives off defense, and a team that actually scores more on the road than they do at home. I'm going to take the Timberwolves in this.
All right, Wayne here on the T-Wolves here. It's now plus 6.5. Let me take a look at the market to see if it's widespread on that 6.5. It is 6.5. Circa in Vegas has 5.5, and that's literally one of the sharpest books in Vegas. So there's still some believers here on this T-Wolves team, and I'm with you too. I'm a believer in this T-Wolves team. I think this line is pretty strong. When you consider the fact that the T-Wolves have had great success here against the Nuggets, even in Denver.
Yes, sir. They're going back and forth in the win category when it comes to the straight up win. T-Wolves win one, Nuggets will win one. But as far as covering, Timberwolves covered, if I'm not mistaken, 5 or 6 back-to-back. And on another point that I didn't mention that I do have in my notes, Timberwolves are playing outstanding on the road. One of the best road teams in the last 10, 7-3, and 4-1. On the other side of that, Nuggets aren't playing horrible at home, but in their last 5, they are 2-3. So, like I said, when it comes to them playing West Coast team, they dominate the East Coast team. But this season, the West Coast been coming and giving it to them. The numbers have been too inflated for them to keep up with, and I feel like it's the same case in this one.
Just to look at the injury report, we know Gordon hit the injury report. Also hitting the injury report here pretty late in the cycle has been Jamal Murray. No, this is a back-to-back. We know that he's been dealing with that knee issue, and now he's been pushed in his iffy game-time decision. It is the first back-to-back since Murray missed that since missing for 7 games. So there is some questions that maybe they're reading the tea leaves that he may sit out the second half of a back-to-back. It's not relevant in this line, but I find this to be a very interesting report that's come out here in this game with Minnesota and Denver that Jamal Murray may sit this one out. Remember, he's coming off that issue with the knee, and they may not want to try him here in this back-to-back spot.
Yeah, both of those players you said are very notable players for this team. Starters, they all have a great role to impact in this team. And like you said, whether he plays or not, I don't expect him to play heavy minutes. On the other side of that, you see Timberwolves coming off a back-to-back too. Outside of Karl Anthony Towns, they're playing everybody. So that lets you know how serious the Timberwolves are taking this. They want all the smoke. They want to bring it to the champs. And I like a team that's playing strong with a chip on their shoulder, led by defense first, getting plenty of points in this situation. I just love the spot for the Timberwolves here tonight.
All right, we got Wayne here on the T-Wolves. And we got some time now, so we'll do a rundown here with Wayne here from this 8-game card from the NBA. So we'll get this underway here as we'll take a look here. Let me just move up the games here, and we will get these games covered for you here. Okay, this is another big line. This kind of reminds me of that Washington game yesterday. Grizzlies and Cavaliers. Yeah, 17 was not high enough, so they bet it to 18. Now they bet it to 19. Cavs 19, total 213.5.
Man, I wish I had the same sentiment that I had yesterday for the Washington Wizards. Shout out them Wizards. They did cover for us. But if I had to look away in this game, definitely not betting this game. Have no reason to. No super edges in this game. But if I had to, I'll take the Cavs. Cavs have not been playing great, but when Cavs do play teams that are less than 500, not playing well, they normally do a good job of blowing them out. And Grizzlies have no starters. I think I read today that they had the most different starting lineup this season with a 50-plus starting lineup. It just shows. And they actually been playing good considering the fact. But with all that being said, off a back-to-back on the road against a Cavs team that actually needs this, I lay it here with the Cavs if I had to pick out of the two.
Grizzlies have been the most injured team in the history of the NBA. That's a fact that was reported back a month ago. They were just 2 injuries away, so I think they've now passed that already. The most injured team in the history of the NBA, the Memphis Grizzlies. Yes. All right, we'll have coverage in this game in the chat room, but we'll open up to Wayne here. Mavericks in Eid, important one here. Mavericks 2.5, total 216.
Yeah, man, he almost lost that game last night. I was on the Heat. It was definitely a sweat. He just don't seem to give a damn where they land in this playoffs, and Mavericks been playing too good for me to fade them. It's either Mavericks or nothing here for me tonight. Mavericks, I pointed out I leaned toward Charlotte last night getting 12.5. Until the fourth quarter, it looked like Charlotte was going to cover, and then Mavericks just exploded in the fourth. Too much offensive power. They can lock in on defense where they want to. I'm going to take the Mavericks here. I just think this game means a little bit more to them, and we're getting a light number with a team who's been playing better.
The big news in this game, if you haven't heard it, there's some big news in this game. Tyler Hero returns from Miami.
Yeah, a solid three-point shooter. He's been up and down this season, like you said, with the injuries. But even when he's been playing, the small amount of sample size we got from Tyler Hero, he's been up and down. He can give you 20, 25, or he can go out there and give you 12 points, 2 assists in 30 minutes. From a guy who's playing that many minutes, you'd like to see more production. But him coming back off that injury, definitely a player that you could always use. But it doesn't scare me with how the Mavs have been playing.
All right, there, Mavs there from. Here's one here that's moved up here. Raptors, Nets. We saw Nets here 9-10 overnight. Now it's up to 12, total 220.5.
Yeah, and I wanted to lean with the Nets as they have smacked the Raptors over the last 10, and but the way the Raptors played last night, they actually surprised me. They came out there, played pretty tough, and I'm gonna take them with their points here. I like the fact that they are starting some of their guys like quickly, getting some of these guys inserted back in the starting lineup. Nets missing a couple role players too, so I think that kind of evens this game out a little more than the line suggests. Give me the Raptors with the possible backdoor cover. If they come out and play like they did last night, I'm gonna take them.
Yeah, losing by 30 to OKC, a little scary there for the Nets side to lay double digits. They're coming back. I understand that completely. All right, we'll continue on here on our NBA rundown here, joined by, let's see here. Maybe I read my battery might have went. I think my battery ran on this one. All right, let's look at it manually here. We went from Raptors game to the Heat game. Spurs and Thunder. We're seeing here the Thunder going to be laying about 16.5, 17.
Any news if Wemby's out? I like the Spurs. Just way too many points where the teams have been competing. I was on the Kings last night, money line. They had that game in their they had that game in their back pocket. I just believe these points is getting out of hand against an OKT team that we're looking at from the eyes of the totality of the season and not really with how they've been playing lately. And it hasn't been good. I know they've been missing two of their better players, but just expect these guys to come back in and blow teams out. I'm just not seeing it. I'm going to take the Spurs in a boatload of points and keep those in my back pocket and hope the Spurs continue to duke it out and fight hard.
All right, there we go.
Close
here
out the season.
Looking for a lot of points there. We know Wemby out in this one in his back-to-back spot. You know, it would always be the Spurs sitting guys down in back-to-backs. You can only always count on that to happen,
definitely.
Right? All right, let's go back to this Hornets-Hawks. This is a big line here, 10 for the Hawks, total 221.5.
Yeah, because Trae Young is back, I'm taking the Hornets. I was leaning towards the Hawks, but Trae Young is officially announced that he will be playing. I'm not sure if he'll be on a minutes restriction, but I like the way the Hawks are playing without Trae Young. They're playing more team basketball, less iso ball, better defense. I think the Hawks need this win and they come in and play tough, but I like the way the Hornets have been battling despite getting smacked around a little bit in the fourth quarter by Dallas. They fought hard and they do it with defense. We know the Hawks play defense when they want to, but Hornets play defense night in and night out when they have the depth to keep up with a team, and I think they have the depth to keep up with the Hawks. More efficient than they did last night with the Mavs. I'm going to take the Hornets with all these points.
Hornets with all these points there, says Wayne. Continuing here, this game, Magic and Bucks, we'll have coverage with a little later. We go here, Timberwolves and Nuggets. That's the one Wayne had. And of course, this is the game that's getting a lot of discussion in the chat room tonight. Suns and Clippers. Suns 11, total 218. Suns trying to avoid the play-in round. Clippers have clinched a spot in the playoffs, meaning they have avoided the play-in round, the Clippers.
Yeah, the Suns have to get some get back here. That was an embarrassing loss last night. They look like they're playing everybody while the Clippers are sitting more guys last night than they did. They're sitting more guys tonight than they did yesterday. So hopefully the Suns see that as a disrespect. Hopefully the Suns understand where they're at in this seeding and they come and get the job done in revenge fashion tonight. I'm going to take a lay with the Suns. If it's still 4 or 5 points.
All right. I was looking at Angel. It looks like the Rays have just beaten the Angel. Washington is screaming at the umpire. You got to keep an eye on what's going on over there because some craziness there. All right, we got through the rundown here with Wayne. We will have coverage here shortly in this one between the Magic and Bucks. Stay tuned for that. All right, Wayne. Let's take a look. Also, the show pick for Wayne is going to be on the T-Wolves here, plus the 6.5 against the Nuggets. All right, Wayne. Let's take a look over at pick.com for nice action. NBA on the board tonight. We went over this 8-game card. Major League Baseball in prime time as well. Action on the ice. And Wayne enjoying a really good baseball season. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yes, sir. Cash my 2 baseball bets for today. 3 NBAs and 1 hockey. Did good in hockey yesterday. Not a lot of games tonight, but did find 1 game that I like. If you want to get those games, you can head over to the site and get my 3-pack. You can get my best bet in NBA. Or long term is the way to go, as I've been knocking it down day by day, week by week, starting to chip back away and get right. If you want to cash with me, best way to do is grab something long term, or you can get the 3-pack on my best bet of the day. I can continue to cash and hit on those as well.
That's right, guys. Got both. Wayne's got over at Pick dogs. Maybe see the great results here from Wayne in baseball. Remember, the long-term pass is the way to go. And pick is a promo code. Save that 15% off. Right, Wayne, as always, great having you show. Continue your success. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow. But let everybody know we can catch your video series with the boxing.
Yes, sir. Huge fight that continues to creep up on us. I want to say it's April 20th. If not this weekend, but the following week. And it'll be Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. Lead up's getting better and better. These are two young guys that's been at each other's neck since the amateurs. This will be a title fight at 140. Odds are decent. Looking to get you guys the best bet of that fight and get that out to you in video form.
That's right, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications so when Wayne drops those videos, you get them in real time. All right, Wayne, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
All right, appreciate it, Tony T. Catch you guys later.
Got it. Wayne Scott here on the drive through. Guys, if you ever miss a pick, we'll recap at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. Let's get to the chat pick of the day. Right now, it's been all Mavericks here, 5-1 here. So chat pick of the day is Mavericks and Heat. If you like the Mavericks laying the 2.5, it's A. Heat plus 2.5 is B. Over 216.5 is C. Under 216.5 is D. Chat pick of the day. Get those picks in. We'll recap at the end of the show. We just got J-Man coming in right now. We called off the chat yesterday. The chat came through. He is on the Heat in this one. All right, let's continue here on the show. And we'll continue here. Bring in Ron Zawacky. Catch him over at Pick Dodge Premium. It's good to us here on the show. Action on the ice with Ron. Still waiting to see if the Oilers can, seeing if the Golden Knights can clinch that playoff spot. There are some clinching scenarios tonight for them, but let's bring Ron in. Ron, what's happening?
Yeah, not too much, Tony. Just finishing up some hockey videos for tomorrow. Light card tonight, so you know what that always means. Then there's a big, heavier card tomorrow. So
yeah,
we 10 games tomorrow and a parlay video, so that'll be coming up momentarily. But we still got 3 games tonight, and some of these games tonight do entail some playoff scenarios, maybe some clinching ones if Vegas can win a game tonight. That's all basically that is, and or this team right here that we're going to talk about here losing, because if the Blues come out and win this game, well, then all those are right out the window, and we have to go another day. Vegas won't clinch. they need somebody here to lose. Yeah, exactly.
We'll see how it rolls here tonight. Blues and Blackhawks. The Blues 225, total 5.5.
Yeah, and you look at this one here. These two teams just met not too long ago, and in result was like crazy scoring in that one. It was a 7-5 final in that game, and I just don't see that here tonight. I don't see a 7-5 drubbing between these. Let's have both goalies that were in that one. Binnington's not starting, and Soderblom. We're going to go with Mrazek. And last time these Mrazek started for the Blackhawks, he made 38 saves and only let in 1 goal. Blackhawks got the win 3-1 in that one. So the Blues definitely looking for a little bit of revenge on Mrazek in goal in this one. Joel Holford's going to get the start for the Blues. Blues play their best hockey at home, no doubt, this season. The split's not even close at home here. 23-13 at home, while on the road, sub 500, 18-19 have been the Blues on the road. But the Blackhawks on the road, even worse. Only 7 regulation wins for the Blackhawks on the road this season. And then, as we know, this is it. The Blues, it's do or die. You lose this one, and you pretty much say, hey, sayonara, you're out of the playoffs. You have a slim chance as it is now, but you got to win this one. They've already beat the Blackhawks handily before. Blues come into this one, win it again. Take them on the puck line. The Crews who will win and keep their slim playoff hopes alive.
Rod says here, take the Blues on the puck line, lay the puck in half, plus 110 against Blackhawks. You never know, because we saw the Kings lose to the Ducks yesterday.
Correct. Well, but the Kings were on the second half of back-to-back. I can. It happens. Yeah, I'll give a little slack because that's what seems to happen. They play one good game, and then that second half of the back-to-back, it doesn't matter who they're playing. They sometimes lay the egg, but then the Kings always sometimes play down to their opponent, and you're like, oh man. That's why I avoided that game. Like I went nowhere near it. I was like, Kings versus Ducks. I got a feeling. Kings might step on the duck, and yeah, they did. Definitely stayed away from that one yesterday. So big games going forward. Kings want to stay in it. They got to keep winning because it's a battle in the
What do you make about that? What do you make about that Philadelphia collapse and this head coach? I know this head coach kind of is, one of those shouters, and does that work nowadays with these players? Tortorella?
No. That's the old school style coach, and I think Tortorella is one of the ones that are just barely hanging on. As we see, I wouldn't be surprised if Philadelphia moves on from him at the end of the season, especially after that big collapse. Yelling at it isn't going to fix the situation. The more you yell, the worse it kind of got, and I think it just tailspin, and the players just kind of just like, nah. And you got to look at the way the whole situation happened for the Blues, or for Philadelphia this season, where they kept rolling. Everything looked pretty good. They were playing good, and then you had the Carter Hart situation came up, and that blew that team right up. And now you got your backup goalie, Erfson, who was never expected to have to play so much hockey this season. Well, guess what? He stepped up and played pretty good hockey. But what happened? It's the same kind of thing we've seen in Detroit, which is what's happening now. If you look at Alex Lyon, had to step up. Husso got hurt, and now Lyon's been playing more hockey. It's kind of like what you see in baseball when a rookie comes in and all of a sudden he has to step up because some veterans, he's number 3 in the role, and then all of a sudden some injuries happen, and now he has to step up a little more and play more than what he's expected to in the progression of him getting better as a player. Sometimes you play a little too much, and you see that drop off. Like we'll see in baseball coming up. You watch later on in the season in MLB, we'll see the drop off in pitchers. We'll see it. They'll reach their ceiling in pitches and how much they've worked all season long, and you'll just see it drop off. And I think that's what we're seeing with some of these goalies that weren't expected with goalie injuries to try to step up.
I thought that would happen with the Thunder, right? Chet Holmgren and all the young teams not used to playing the minutes and playing all the number of games here. You can see expected some drop. We did see some drop off with them defensively because their defensive numbers have been pretty bad of late. Although they did have to look at that comeback they needed to beat the Kings, right? Look at the situation they put themselves in. So there are some examples of some of these young players not used to getting. They're playing important roles in the teams, but they're not used to playing these many games. It's a lot different game than the 30 plus you play in college. You're playing 80 plus. When you count preseason games too, because they didn't play you don't play preseason, and you might have 1 or 2 exhibitions in college, but you don't have 8 preseason games like you have in the NBA. So it's a 90 game when you count preseason there. So it's quite a schedule there for these young kids.
Quite a jump.
Yeah,
quite a big jump from what you've been playing, what you've been regularly playing to what you're playing now. Yeah, that's a massive jump. Here, all of a sudden you got to play 30 more games a season. Yikes!
Hey, that's a lot. Blues puck line, like the puck and a half against the Blackhawks, and there's plus money there. Blues looking to stave off.
And there's plus money, and Blues play their best at home. Got to go with it. They already won on the puck line before. Blues at home, and that's where they play their best.
Blues at home. All right, Rob, let's take a look over at Pick.Print for tonight's action. Of course, we do have hockey on the board, NBA with an 8-game card. Still some action in primetime here from Major League Baseball. Rod showing great results over the last 7 days. What do you have going on over at Pick.Print? Rod's been on a tear.
And been on fire, so heating up. Definitely jump aboard. Today I got it's my walk-off Wednesday. I've got 5 plays going today. I've got 3 in the MLB. Looking to crush those ones right out the park. And then I got my drop a dime play in the NBA. And then I've got 1 play on the ice. So definitely head on over, scoop that up. My 10-star play of the day, I dropped it yesterday, but still 16-3 of the last 19 on it. So that's the reason we've been on fire. 10-star play of the day has been money. So head over, scoop it up over at Pick Dogs Premium. Use that promo code PICK. Save 15% off. And, hey, check out the long-term pass. Check out the 2-for-1 capper deal. Always can never go wrong with that. Always have 2 cappers putting money in your pocket, giving you winners. Can't go wrong there.
Might be a good time to bring back that 3-month-old sports pass. Get you through the NBA and NHL playoffs.
Right?
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea. Yeah, pull up the 90-day one.
Yeah, bring up the 90-day one.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah.
Bring up the 90-day one. Get you right to the summer.
Yeah, 90-day one.
Right to the summer.
Get to the postseason action, and then Rod getting ready for, what is it, April? I don't know when, May, WNBA. So time to get that.
Something like that, yeah. May WNBA starts the one, and you know me, I love my CFL, so definitely. So I get the early. I feel the people are I like the CFL.
That's right.
It's coming.
That's right.
I've already been deep diving at the draft is right around the corner. So
That's right. So 90, I tell you, good time for that 90-day all sports pass, because that would get to the NBA, NHL postseason in there, as well as all the baseball. That would take you near the All-Star break. All right, Rod, as always, great having you show. Continue your success. We'll catch up with you again next week. But I'm sorry, I'll catch up with you again on Steak Friday. We got you on Steak Friday. And also the video series NHL. I know you'll be busy tonight.
Yeah, definitely busy tonight. Like, subscribe. Make sure you flip on that notification bell. That way you get notified when those videos drop and you get the newest content as fast as you can. So definitely check those out. 10 videos tomorrow. Any game you're looking for. There are some that have no playoff implications, but there's still always a chance to make us some money with it. So definitely go check those out.
Absolutely.
And also, bonus, we're going to take Braden Shin. Braden Shin of the St. Louis Blues gets anytime goal, over 2 times their money on that. Plus 220, I believe I got on him. Braden Shin's going to get an anytime goal. And then because I'm wearing the hat, yes, I don't care that Vegas is in town. And if anyone's asking, yeah, I don't think McDavid plays tonight, man. I really don't. I think he's a game time decision. And do you play him or you don't play him? That's the question, and everybody wants to know. And I'm at the point where I don't think you do play him. And even if you don't play him, this Vegas team, they're overrated. Come on now. What have they done in the last 4 months? They're a 500 hockey club, easily 500 hockey club at best over the last 4 months. Sure, they came out to a hot start. Well, yeah, everybody was healthy and they were rolling right along. And then they hit bumps and blips, and Aiden Hill is back tonight for the Vegas Golden Knights as they get another piece back, but they are missing still good four guys off of that lineup from the team that won the Stanley Cup last year, and so we're missing 1 to 4. I like the Oilers' chances here tonight. A little bonus play for you. Maybe a little homer play, but take the Edmonton Oilers here tonight.
All right, Rod.
It's all going to be like Vegas. No, Vegas is this close to missing the playoffs. Playoffs? You got to make the playoffs.
Yeah, it's just they just assume it now in Vegas. Now they just assume it they'll be there.
That's exactly what it is, right? And I think they're overrated. I think they're out first round. I don't care who they play.
All right, oh boy. You know who's following you. You know who's following you. All right, Rod, have a great night. We're gonna go to bed.
Wait, I don't think Tony Brown anymore.
No, we got another Vegas. You're throwing some fire out. All right, we got Vegas Golden Knights.
First round.
All right. Hat bet is on the table there for Dana Lane. Hat bet is on the table. All right, Rod, we're gonna bring in Dana. We'll catch you up tomorrow on Steak Friday.
Definitely. Have yourself a good one. I totally forgot. All right. Sorry, Dana.
Zawacky here on the drive-thru. All right, let's continue on. Bring in Dana Lane. You'll catch him over at Pick.com. Coverage with that Oilers and Golden Knights. It's not going to be the side, but I'm sure Dana would expect the Golden Knights to not be in this position. Let's bring him in right now. Dana, what's happening?
What we really need, Tony, is just a split screen. I mean,
I know, right?
There's no use of me yelling at the monitor while Rod's going off on Vegas. But it is interesting, though. I don't know if they're overrated because I don't know if anybody has talked about them as a Stanley Cup contender right now. I mean, with all the injuries, as Rod pointed out, to me they're not on that level right now. But there's that extra thing that happens once they get into the postseason. We're already starting to see that with Aiden Hill coming back in the lineup tonight. As was pointed out, Pietrangelo is out of the lineup. And, if they match up against the Oilers, there's some people that say that this injury to Connor McDavid's going to linger for a little bit. So didn't mean to step on your opening, but sure would like to have a split screen sometimes.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And we're hitting the point at the top of the hour. So let's take a look over at Pick.com before we get into the game here. We see Dana having a great year in NBA this year. Pretty great year all around. Action in the NBA tonight, tipping off in about 10 minutes. NHL, baseball. What do you have going over at Pick.com?
Yeah, guys, get involved. We have 2 MLB winners already in today. Our free play on the videos already hit. So 3 MLB winners, rather, has already come in. So make sure you get involved. That all-access pass gives you every single one of my plays, whether you get involved in the 30-day pass, 60-day pass, or an annual pass. That is absolutely the best way to go. And like I like to remind people, if you get that annual pass, it takes us right through the NFL and college football season again, which I cannot wait to get to again.
That's right. Then, of course, as I mentioned to Rod, that 90-day pass is a great period right now because of the NBA and NHL playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. And as he pointed out, that you throw in the WNBA too, because look, I mean, you may not watch it. A lot of people do now. I mean, it's probably women's basketball is at the peak that it's ever been, but Vegas is absolutely hot, and that league needed the Aces to come into the league and really prop it up like it has. And they got some players on the way that's going to do that on an individual basis. In fact, they just moved the Aces home opener, I guess, against Indiana to T-Mobile Arena. There was so much demand for it. So good on that. And, there is so much involved right now, and the information that filters through, especially here locally. I mean, yeah, the NBA and NHL playoffs, I mean, we'll be knee deep into that, but you sprinkle in a little WNBA and we're going to have ourselves a good summer.
Well, the next step is taking it to the Raiders Stadium.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, that would be great. I mean, listen, what the Aces have done have been absolutely phenomenal. I mean, one of the reasons why I love this city is if you slap Vegas on just about anything, I mean, the price of business goes up. I mean, the price of the worth of the Oakland Raiders went through the roof when they came to Vegas. Of course, the Golden Knights are one of the most, I would say, even at this point. I mean, they're certainly in the top 5 most watched. I don't want to say prestigious because you don't want to wipe away the history of the league, but I think women's basketball went another level once the San Antonio franchise moved to Vegas.
Yep, it's become. I know it's just a gaming, sports betting destination. You can say now it's an entertainment destination, no doubt about that. Golden Knights
for sure.
And Oilers head to head here. Oilers a short favorite, $1.17, total 6.
Yep, this number we saw it at 6.5 last night. I was going to jump on that at that time, and now I guess it's down to 6 as a consensus number. But of course, as we just talked about, Connor McDavid is a game time decision, but that number certainly reflects the fact that he probably will not play in this game. And as we talked about in previous videos, the better of the player, the more or the worse it is below him. Where the NHL is such a cohesive sport. When you take a player like Connor McDavid out of the lineup, then you all of a sudden become a 2-line team where you don't have as much depth scoring on the bottom 6, and that's kind of the case tonight because you're going to have your 3rd-line center is going to move up. Adam Henrique's going to move up into that 2nd-line position. So I listen. I don't think Edmonton's going to have any problem. I mean, they still are a dynamic team. Most teams are going to go into the postseason with a hot top 6, but that's a massive. Listen, Connor McDavid's almost a 2-point-a-game player against the Golden Knights. You take him out of the lineup, that is going to be a problem. Plus, on top of that, this past week it kind of got swept under the carpet that Evander Kane and Corey Perry kind of had words on the bench, and that's not the first time that Evander Kane's had that with a teammate. You don't know how that's going to affect things or how deep that actually goes. I know that they kind of joked with each other at the post-game press conference and made it look like it was nothing. But, now those two are going to get split up, and Evander's going to skate on that 2nd line tonight if, everything trickles down as it should. But it is going to be interesting, and I think when there's a lot of moving parts, I think there's a lot less scoring. Yes, Adin Hill is going to be back in goal tonight, and they need a massive effort from Adin Hill. It was interesting because Logan Thompson, something else that got swept under the carpet the other day at practice, limped off, and I don't. Listen, you never know with this Vegas Golden Knights team because I've dealt with them closely, and especially when it comes to injuries, they will not tell you anything. So there was nothing coming out about Logan Thompson, and he went on to start against the Vancouver Canucks and lost that game. But it's good that Adin Hill is back in the lineup, and he is the guy that's going to carry them deep into the postseason if there is a deep run in the postseason. So everything points to, you're taking some points off the board with McDavid out of the lineup, but I think this is going to be a tough defensive playoff hockey type atmosphere where these two teams still could match up in the first round. And I think there's going to be very little room on the ice. I think the passing lanes are going to be taken away. And I think we're going to be very close to that 6. It's a tough number. It wasn't my first selection today, but I think we'll take a chance with the under in this one.
Chance with the under. There are some 6.5s out there. Dana, any thoughts? We got the Frozen Four coming up.
You know what? I gotta be honest with you, Tony. I mean, it's not a board board sport, so I don't follow it. And as soon as Notre Dame is out, it's
over.
It just kind of you got to pick and choose throughout the day what you're going to do. I love it, and I watch college hockey as long as Notre Dame is involved. But as soon as that's out, I don't have time for it, and I apologize. I can't give you more of an in-depth answer.
No worries. I just caught you on the fly there, knowing that I was thinking all the colleges. But we still got the Frozen Four. They decided to play later in the week with the women college hoops and NBA get women and men's college hoops get so much publicity. Forgot about the Frozen Four. Still going to be getting this week, tomorrow, and in the weekend. So still stuff going on, and of course the Pac-12 is still alive until baseball season's over, until August 1st. So that's going on. All right, Dan, let everybody know about that video series you have up there right now against the public betting.
Yeah, against the public video will be up as early as I possibly can get it. Sometimes I want to wait a little bit because in baseball, you have these listed pitchers, and then sometimes you wake up the next day and it's not the case, or you don't have listed pitchers. So in baseball season, I'll get it up a little bit later when I'm sure of the pitchers. I've already been burned by that once this year. But we basically analyze all the early betting patterns, and we try to find the number that's going to be best for the people that are watching the videos. But we kind of went into more of a pick mode of late, and that's been working out a little bit better, because when we do get into baseball, Tony, as well as I, it's really about the money that becomes the problem, not the wins and losses. The favorites do win the majority of the time in baseball and in hockey. So to constantly try to go against the public, that would probably make for a long summer.
Yeah, it's kind of tough to do that. All right, Dana, as always, great having the show. Continue your success, and we'll catch up again next week.
All right, Tony, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
You got it. Dana Lane here on the Drive Thru. All right, guys, we're going to wrap up this chat pick of the day here, and then we will get to my pick, and then we'll ask you guys for your best bet. So if you already voted on the chat pick of the day, now it's time to put in your show pick, and we'll grade that here as well. All right, let's continue here on the Drive Thru. It's time to give you the last chance to vote on this chat pick of the day. Mavericks and Heat. If you like Mavericks, lay the 2.5. It's A. Heat plus 2.5 is D. Over is C. And under is D. We have a tie right now with the Mavericks laying the 2.5 and the over. So we need to break this tie. We're getting some Heat play here right now. Next one coming was the Heat plus 2.5. So get these picks in, and then we will. It's close right now with 3 of them. We've got Mavericks with 5, Heat with 4, over with 5. And so we're looking for someone, and we get another over coming in here. So right now the over is ahead, and we'll get to my pick, and then we will break this tie. Hopefully you guys will break that. We're tied with the over and right now with the Mavericks. So keep these bets coming in right now, or these picks coming in right now. All right, let's continue here on the Drive Thru. Let's get to my pick, and then let's get to the recap right now. Let's get to the recap. We got games beginning in less than 5 minutes. So let's recap it here, and then we'll get to my pick. You'll see my pick in the recap, then I'll explain about it a little bit here. Recapping it here. Chris, Royals plus 105 against Astros. Mitch on the Orioles plus 102 against Red Sox. Wayne was on the T-Wolves plus 6.5 against Nuggets. Rod was on Blues puck line, lay the goal and a half plus 110 against the Blackhawks. Dana on Golden Knights. Oilers under 6.5. I'll be on the Magic laying the 2 against the Bucks. What I like the most here, that T-Wolves teams have been playing well. They've had good success against Denver. Denver's injuries here to both. Murray here will be a game-time decision, right? That's what I'm showing, game-time decision with that issue with that knee. It just seems to me that the healthier team, I know Towns is out, just seems to me the healthier team is there with the Minnesota Timberwolves, and they've had success. I'll go with Wayne here on the T-Wolves plus 6.5. All right, let's go ahead and let's see if we can finish grading this chat pick of the day here as we're getting some more picks from you guys here to close it out. We're getting here, who we got in, let's see, what do we got here? We're getting some more in here, guys. We got B's coming in, more B's coming in. Let's see here, a couple more from the A side. We got under. We got our first under coming in. It looks like we've got a majority pick here at the close. Now we got another one here. Okay, so the chat pick of the day with 9, a big late run here. on the chat pick of the day, it will be on the Dallas Mavericks. Laying the 2.5 will be the chat pick of the day. A close second was the over. And we got another one here for the Heat, but that wasn't enough. So the chat pick of the day will be on the Dallas Mavericks here at minus the 2.5. Look, can put them back to back here. See, like J-Man says, let's get the chat moving again. Warriors was the winner yesterday with the chat pick of the day, and they come back here with the Dallas Mavericks tonight. All right, guys, now it's time to get your show picks. Get your show picks in right now, and we'll read them off at the end of the show. We gave you the recap. You know who I like in the game tonight. I like the Magic here, laying plus the 2.5 in this spot, and it really comes down to the fact that the Magic will be playing the Bucks still twice. They will play them twice, and also the Bucks will be playing OKC. So Milwaukee has a very difficult schedule down the stretch. No Giannis, no Galloway, no Middleton here for Milwaukee, no Harris, no Wagner. But I'll take the Orlando Magic here to lay the points, because there's still a path for them to get the 2 seed, especially since they faced Milwaukee twice still left here on their schedule. And of course, Milwaukee twice against the Magic, and then they have to play OKC. So Milwaukee has three really tough games to close the stretch here. So we'll go that route here with the Magic. With the path still to get to that number 2 seed is open. Even though they dropped to Houston yesterday, there's still a path for them to get there. All right, guys over at Pick.com, I got a 3-pack up there right now. Also a best bet from the NBA, so get on board. Get on board with my long-term pass, my 3-7 or 30-day all sports pass. Get all my premium plays for that time here to select. When you go to my handicapper page, make that purchase. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save that 15% off multi-cap promotion available as well. All right, let's continue here. Let's get to the chat, to your pick of the. We got your pick of the day. Now we want your show pick. So you pick the game. You guys can pick the game, and we'll read it out here. Okay, Bo Dunn was on the Suns, laying the 4.5. Rangers puck line here, or is that Rangers, or is that New York Rangers, or is that Texas Rangers? I have to, that would be Texas. The New York Rangers are not playing tonight, so that's New York Rangers from Blake. We also have Royals money line from Blake. What else do we have tonight here from the chat room today? Let's see what we've got here. See if we get any more before we wrap it up here. Let's see what we've got. Rod with Ekholm goal here, plus 850. Chris White Thunder, Blues puck line. Chris White Thunder has been good to us with the Blues puck line. Lay the puck in half against the Blackhawks. What do we got? Marshall here for Lando 86. We'll have 2+ points, plus 234 from Lando 86. Mavs all day from Max. What else do we have here with your best bets? I thought I saw some earlier here from some of the guys. Let's see here. Kevin MVP likes the puck line with the Blues as well. That seems to be very popular as well. Let's see here. B. Lick likes the Suns laying the 10.5. Any more coming in here? Let's see. What do we got here? B. Lick, they did mention the Suns already. Let me see if there's any more here. Reds from Kent FWT likes the Reds tonight. What else we have here? Memphis money line from coming in Memphis money line in that one. And Ken Fui Chi likes the Red Sox here, but he also likes the money line here of Memphis coming in. So that's a big one there from him as well. That big money line play. Any more before we lock it up? I think we got them all in already. Do one refresh. All right, that's it. We got them all in for today. That's your show picks from everybody in the chat room. That's going to do it for today's show, guys. Make sure you tune in again tomorrow live at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll do it all over again. We'll bring in our cappers and Big Dog Sports Chat place. They'll get their place for you in real time. Remember, it always gets started with that morning show live here at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Mitch, Chris, and Jay. Of course, Mitch's 7 picks in 5 minutes. His Betting Tools show is roundtable discussion with the professionals. Also, Jay's Jam Session NBA. Of course, around the league here, NHL league here with Chris. Of course, we got Rod Zawacky with his NHL All Access A to Z coverage from the NHL. Also, we have Against the Public Betting here with Dana Lane. We also have Wing with his boxing video series. So, guys, make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications, be live when these plays are given out with our show picks as well. And, of course, Ron Romnelli, his baseball breakdown for you here on the channel. So lots of great content. Mills always with the UFC rundown in his prop shop. Of course, the shorts videos here. Nerfies from Brad and Parlay from Javon. So, and of course, all access from Big Al McMorty, Costi with his sharp trading plays. All right, let's bring in our crew from that. Anyway, goodbye, guys. You guys have a great